Good morning, everyone. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. I think we can do better now. Let's try again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Much better, much better. I am Vanessa Welch with Fox 25, and I'm so excited to be back with you all again. I was here last year and just so impressed by the sheer number of volunteers who decided to make this a day on. Not a day off where we're sitting at home in our pajamas, sleeping in, but a day on where we are serving and giving back to honor Dr. Martin Luther King. I just know that he would be so proud of the work that is going to happen here today, and I know that his family is so proud and honored by the way we are all honoring him and everything that he did for our country on this great day. So a huge round of applause for all of you just for being here today. I do want to give a quick shout out to my Fox 25 family. We've got a lot of them here. We're all in these blue jackets that say Fox 25. So if you see us, come up and say hello, grab a selfie or a picture. Everybody is super friendly and super nice. I'm honored to work with just an amazing team. We have Daniel Miller is here with us, Sarah Underwood, Tom Lyden, Michael Henrick, and all of their families are here as well. They brought their kids to serve as well. And the neat thing is all of them were here last year. So they were so touched and so moved by this event last year that they decided to give up their holiday as well and serve in honor of Dr. King. Dr. King once said the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. I'm going to repeat that and let you just sit on that for just a minute. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. We are not here to just learn, but we are also here to serve and to give back and to make sure that everyone has the same opportunities that we do, no matter where they come from or what their background is. So today we are gathered in the first school in America. How cool is that, just to be in the Boston Latin School, the first school in America? And we are here to help young students succeed. By the end of the day, we will have created 1,000 kits. We're going to create kits, STEM learning aids for 1,000 public school students in Boston and the surrounding area. We're also going to build beds for local students, twin beds and also toddler beds, because a lot of kids are not even sleeping in a bed at night, and they're waking up, coming to school with a disadvantage because they didn't get a good night's sleep. So today you are going to help make beds for them so that they are better prepared to learn when they wake up in the morning. All of this is made possible by Boston Cares, a phenomenal group. It is New England's largest volunteer mobilizer. Boston Cares fills more than 25,000 volunteer opportunities each year for 165 nonprofits, schools, and public programs throughout Greater Boston. And listen to this. This is not just a statistic. This is powerful stuff. Over the past 25 years, they've generated more than 1 million volunteer hours of service. Please join me in welcoming Boston Cares Executive Director, Patrice Keegan.
Thank you, Vanessa, and welcome back to Boston Cares Martin Luther King Day of Service. And welcome to all of you, 750 volunteers from all corners of Boston and from many neighboring communities. And we've all joined together today for this National Day of Service in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. and what he called the beloved community, the society committed to justice and equal opportunity and respect for all people. I want to thank, yes. I want to thank the team here at Boston Latin School again for your hospitality and for hosting us today. I'd also like to thank our friends at Target, the Massachusetts Service Alliance, the Corporation for National and Community Service and AmeriCorps, Boston Public Schools, ServiceWorks, Fox 25 News, and 103.3 AMP Radio for all of your support. Mayor Marty Walsh, and I know Superintendent Chang is on his way, and Commissioner Evans from the Boston Police Department. We are very honored and happy for you to be here today, and we appreciate the year-round partnerships that Boston Cares has with the City of Boston and with Boston Public Schools, through which hundreds, literally hundreds, of Boston Cares volunteers help to improve the lives of people in need here in Boston. And last but not least, please join me in thanking all of the Boston Cares staff and our volunteer leaders who have worked so hard to make today possible. Let's give it up for them. So whether you're a longtime volunteer or if you're serving for the very first time today, thank you for being here today and for showing how volunteers are such an important part of making Boston and Massachusetts and our great nation a better place for all of it. And with that I turn it back to Vanessa, our MC.
Patrice, thank you so much for all you do for our community and the way that you mobilize volunteers. You are doing incredible work. Now, Boston Cares really couldn't do what it does without the help of AmeriCorps involvement. If you are an AmeriCorps alum or a current member, let me hear from you. Thank you so much for your service. I am pleased to introduce Mal Coles, the Atlantic Region Manager for the Corporation for National and Community Service. Also, Emily Haber, the CEO of Massachusetts Service Alliance. They're going to come up and tell us a little bit more about how AmeriCorps and Boston Cares partner together for events like this.
Thank you and good morning. Mal and I are just going to do a duo dance up here
it's
together,
like the Oscars.
Right? Because we partner together to make sure that service and volunteerism here in Massachusetts and across the country are strong and able to engage everyone who wants to participate. So I'm really excited to be here with you this morning. As Vanessa said, my name is Emily Haber. I'm the CEO of the Massachusetts Service Alliance, and we are we act as your state commission on service and volunteerism. We make sure that organizations across Massachusetts are well positioned to engage volunteers and Corps members to help them meet their mission in their community. And so we've partnered with Boston Cares in a variety of ways over many, many years, and we're very proud and pleased to be here today with you to support all of your efforts to engage you during this Martin Luther King Day of service. We have thousands of people volunteering across the state today with projects that are supported through Mass Service Alliance and a variety of other ways. All folks who are choosing, as Vanessa said, to make today a day on, not a day off. In addition to supporting National Days of Service, we support AmeriCorps state programs and Commonwealth Corps programs across Massachusetts. And here in Boston, we have probably around 900 AmeriCorps members serving in schools, preschools, after-school programs, legal service organizations. Many of those AmeriCorps members are going to take accessible to them the kits that you work on today so they can help the children become tomorrow's scientists and mathematicians and engineers. And so they are going to be very grateful to have with them all that you produce today. I had the fortune to see the movie Hidden Figures last night, which is an incredible movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And very powerful to see it on this particular weekend in time. The movie focuses on 3 African-American women who worked at NASA during the space race time, and they were incredible. And so I was really reflecting on what you are going to be doing today, and you're going to be creating these STEM kits, and they're going to very possibly inspire a generation of young people to go into the sciences, to become the engineers and mathematicians and scientists who are going to discover what we need to help keep our planet safe and healthy into the future. So I want to thank you for what you're doing, and I want to thank Patrice and Mal Coles and pass it to him for his 1 minute. So go ahead, Mal.
Thank you, Emily. It's great to be here, everyone. I'm Mal Coles. I'm with the federal funding partner, the Corporation for National and Community Service. I want to thank, a live mic, I want to thank Boston Cares. I want to thank Mayor Walsh's administration and all the folks who've shown up today to make this indeed a day on, not a day off. To give you the larger landscape, you're part of several million Americans at tens of thousands of these sites across the entire country, folks who step up to honor the legacy, the teaching, and the ongoing values that are championed by Dr. King. Dr. King is famous for his extraordinarily insightful quotes, not the least of which in these challenging times we need to remember that the moral arc of history is long, but it does bend towards justice. And your presence here today is a true testimony to that. And I want to congratulate you all. It wouldn't be MLK Day without your favorite MLK quotes, and I want to get the opportunity to use mine before someone else steals them. But Perhaps most apt for this day, of course, is the statement that everyone can be great because anyone can serve. You don't need a college degree. You don't need to understand the second law of thermodynamics. You don't have to have your subject and your verb agree. All you need is a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day of service.
I told Mr. Coles I would not steal his Martin Luther King quotes this year, and I lived up to that promise, so well done. But what a great reminder about service, and that it really can begin at any age. And as I look out in the crowd, it is so wonderful to see so many young children here. So kudos to you parents for bringing your young ones. I brought my 4-year-old and my 5-year-old here today, and I think it's so important to teach them young, at a young age, that service is so important so that they can learn the importance of giving back and do that throughout their years. Now to offer greetings on behalf of Boston Latin School and all the schools that are going to benefit from your hard work today is Boston Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Tommy Chang.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So literally, my MLK quote was stolen from me. But that's okay, because I have a backup one. So thank you for all of you for coming to the Boston Latin School to serve today on MLK Service Day. And this day is always a day of inspiration for me. In Boston Public Schools, we are preparing every young person for a college career and life. And we want and we desire to close opportunity and achievement gaps. You are today you are going to be helping to contribute to closing that opportunity and achievement gap. 2.5 job postings every single year in the STEM field compares only to 1 graduate coming from a STEM field from American universities and colleges. We have a great deal to do to make sure we are closing that opportunity achievement gap for our young people. And so we will honor Dr. King's legacy today by making sure we are preparing more of our young people for jobs and careers in the science-related fields. Earlier this morning, I had an opportunity to listen to some great speakers. Some of our elected officials, including our mayor, spoke at an MLK event at the Boston Convention Center. And Senator Sonia Chang Diaz reminded us of a letter that Dr. Martin Luther King wrote, reminding us about not being patient. And while he was speaking around issues of justice, I want to share with you a part of that letter that I read every single evening to remind me about the importance of my work as a superintendent of Boston Public Schools. He says, quote, "We have waited for more than 340 years for our constitutional and God-given rights. The nations of Asia and Africa are moving with jet-like speed towards gaining political independence, but we creep at a horse and buggy pace towards gaining a cup of coffee at the lunch counter." He was reminding his friends that we cannot wait for political justice and political independence. As a superintendent of Boston Public Schools, for me, that cup of coffee is a quality education for the young people of Boston. So we are doing everything we can each and every day to make sure we are closing opportunity and achievement gaps in the city of Boston, and you are going to help contribute to that today. So I want to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you for giving your day to service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chang. Our final speaker this morning is a regular at this MLK event. He's someone who believes deeply in the power of people coming together to make our communities much stronger. He has a packed schedule, and we are honored that he chooses to be with us and to serve on MLK Day. We are grateful for his service and for all he does to make Boston such an incredible city. Please join me in welcoming the mayor, Marty Walsh.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, and I want to thank everyone at Fox for coming out today, and also for giving up your day to be here with us. Thank you very much. Anyone on the back, if you want to sit down, there's a few seats, there's a bunch of seats down here. Feel free to walk down as I give my remarks. I want to, first of all, thank everyone for coming out. There's over 700 people in this room right now, and probably by the end of the day, there'll be over 1,000 people that come out. So thank you, all of you, the volunteers that came out today. That's an incredible, incredible turnout. I want to thank Boston Cares and Patrice, thank you very much. Certainly Mal and Emily and the superintendent, thank you as well. We're also joined by a few City Hall people and city employees. We have the Commissioner of the Boston Fire Department, Joe Finn, with us. I want to thank you, Commissioner Finn, for being with us. We have the Commissioner of the Boston Police Department, Billy Evans, with us. I want to thank you, Commissioner Evans, for being with us. We have a bunch of different people that do important things in City Hall. We have Austin Blackman, who's the Chief Environment, with us today. Chris Osgood, the Chief of Streets, with us today. Gina Fandaka, Head of Transportation, with us today. Obviously, the Superintendent, Tommy Chang, with us today. And I also want to thank, in particular, Boston Latin for hosting us. I want to thank all the Boston Latin students, alums, teachers, parents, everyone associated with this great school for allowing us to be here again this year. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. You know, there's a lot of talk about today is a day of quotes of Dr. Martin Luther King. And for the students out there, what I would say to you is just, it's amazing the amount of quotes that he gave, but those aren't quotes, those were speeches. Those were speeches based on racial injustice. Those were speeches based on progress. Those were speeches based on brotherhood and sisterhood. Those were speeches that for generations, those speeches and some of those quotes within those speeches have guided many, many people. As you heard, our superintendent says he reads one of his quotes every night and to think about how he guides his life. Dr. King did say this too. He said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are we doing for others? And that's what today's all about, a day of service. Boston Cares certainly understands that and pushes this question year-round. And by connecting us in ways that helps our community, it helps us better understand how we answer that question. I just want to thank Boston Cares. They train teams of individuals and corporate volunteers who strengthen communities and improve the lives and the needs of other people. So what they do isn't just today. It's every single day. This year-round program has roughly 25,000 people, volunteers, who volunteer more than 75,000 hours supporting 160 Greater Boston schools and nonprofits. And today, we're certainly adding to that number of 25,000. The impact is incredible, and I want to sincerely thank Boston Cares for the great work that you do in our city. For those of you that are out there, whether it's your first time volunteering at Boston Cares or you were a veteran with other great organizations, we want to thank you for continuing this great tradition in our city. Today's volunteers will create a STEM learning aids for 1,000 Boston Public School students, and as Dr. Superintendent Chang spoke about, how do we do that? What do we do by that? So you're out here today helping us. When people talk about closing the achievement gap, you're doing that. When people talk about bringing better education to our schools, you're doing that. When people talk about giving back to young people, you're doing that today. We're also going to launch the next chapter in the BED project. You heard a little bit about it. In 2014, I was proud to say I helped kick that program off. The BED project has built 1,200 beds for children who don't have one. Think about that for a minute, everyone in this room. Think about the fact if you didn't have a bed, or if your little brother or little sister didn't have a bed, or your little cousin or little kid across the street didn't have a bed. And what this program does, and you think about in 2017, how do we have that today? How do we have the fact that young people don't have beds? So it shows that there's still so much more for us all to do, and today, you're a big part of that. And the number's going to be boosted today even higher after we're done here today. Today is about service, but it's also about history. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Many of you, maybe you don't know this, but Dr. Martin Luther King spent a lot of time in Boston. He's preached not too far from here at the 12th Baptist Church. He walked these streets when he was in. Many of the speeches and many of the inspirations of speeches that he wrote, his inspiration happened by walking the streets of the city of Boston. While he was here, he had a friend and mentor named Howard Durman. He's a doctor. Howard was the dean of the Boston University March Chapel, the first black dean of a chapel of a majority white university in the history of the United States of America. After Dr. King's assassination, Howard Thurman wrote a tribute to his departed friend. He wrote, "May we harness the energy of our bitterness and make it available to the unfinished work which Martin left behind." I want to read that one more time. May we harness the energy of our bitterness and make it available to the unfinished work which Martin left behind. We are heading into very interesting times in our country. Next week, we're going to be swearing in a new president of the United States of America. Many of us in this room probably didn't support him. Most people in Boston didn't. But there's a couple things that we can do. We can be angry, or we can take our bitterness and finish Dr. Martin Luther King's work and move forward. I call on you today to do that in year-round, not just by volunteering. Channel your energy into moving your city and our city forward, serving your neighbors, serving your community, and if you're not from Boston, the Commonwealth of the country. That's the opportunity that's in front of us today. By working hard together, we can make life better for everyone in our city, our state, and our country. And we need to keep Dr. King's spirit alive. I want to thank you for being here this morning. I want to thank Boston Cares for the service to our youth and our families and our entire city. To all of the committed volunteers here today, I am grateful to you and I'm proud of you. And I'm not sure he's here yet, but I want to thank also the headmaster of Boston Latin, Mike Contampasas, for his friendship and support and for the great work he's done. This is what Boston's all about. Look around the room. We're from all different neighborhoods, different areas, different ages. This is what Boston's all about, making sure we get back. I want to wish you all a very happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day today.